Hey everyone, this is going to be hopefully the most informative video I've done yet. And I wanted to do this for, a special thank you to everybody who's helped me get to this point, followed me, paid attention to what I had to say, encouraged me, and whatnot. So this video is going to be how I would go from $0 to $100,000 in sports betting. I'm going to try and do this in around 10 to 12 minutes and just lay out the roadmap as clearly as possible, just to show how I would go on each step of the journey to go from 0 to 100,000. So let's just jump right into it. First thing you need to do is go from 0 to something, because the saying you need money to make money, that's true in betting, because you literally need money to place a bet and to have them give you something back. So the first thing I would do is, if you have a job, I would start and set aside a sports betting fund or a bankroll, right? And this could be, you put $100 in a month, and then you save up till you get to about $500, and then you can start doing this. If you have $500 that you can set aside right now, great, But this is more for if you really don't have anything in that sports betting bankroll. I would, maybe do a little part-time work or pick up a couple hours here or there just to get that money for the initial start of this, because it is important to have like about $500. It'll make it a lot easier if you have about 500, because what you're going to be able to do with 500 is step 2 is the deposit bonuses. With around 500, you're going to be able to take advantage of a couple deposit bonuses at a time, which is really going to snowball that initial stage, right? So if we're trying to save time, I would focus on getting that 0 to 500 as quickly as you possibly can with, outside work or saving up from your current job, and then setting that aside. Then we get into sports betting and start snowballing that, and you'll see it'll be a lot quicker than if you just started with like $100 or that. So number 2, alluded to it earlier, is deposit bonuses. So how deposit bonuses work is sports books, they want to attract customers, right? When I say sports books, I mean it could either be DraftKings or Prize Picks, the DFS companies that are actually sports books. Doesn't really matter. These are both what I'm talking about. These companies want to attract customers. They're competing with each other for all of us, right? To play at their book. So they're going to give out what they call deposit bonuses. Almost every single site right now has a deposit bonus. So, Prize Pick says, hey, we'll give you $100 for free if you deposit $100 with us. And what they're hoping that basically happens is you come onto the platform and you just stay there losing money to them. So it's like kind of this initial get you over the hurdle, get you onto their platform, and then they kind of have you, right? So, but we're not like that. We're there to beat them, right? We're there to make some money. So that first 500, don't even think about, sports betting necessarily yet. What I want you to do is figure out, which sites you can deposit on and which sites have deposit bonuses. So when you have about 500, you want to be targeting like $100 deposit bonuses, because if you have 500 and a site has an $1,000 deposit bonus, you're going to be leaving 500 on the table. So don't, we'll get to that later. Right now, you want to maybe sprinkle it around at a couple different sites, collecting the $100 deposit bonus. Now, how a deposit bonus works. A deposit bonus will essentially, what happens is, let's take Prize Picks for example. You deposit 100 into Prize Picks, they give you an $100 deposit bonus. Now you have 200 in your account. Can you just now withdraw that 100 that Prize Picks gave you? You can't, right? They've thought of that. But what you can do is, if you the standard right now in the US is what we call 1x rollover. That just means you have to bet through your entire balance one time, and then you can withdraw. So in this Prize Picks example, you deposit 100, you get a free 100, and then you bet through the 200 in your balance. And after you've bet through that, what happens? You can withdraw whatever money you have left. Now that's yours to withdraw. So remember that with deposit bonuses, you have to play what we call play through the money. But there's an easy way to play through the money, especially on a lot of these sites. What you can do to play through the money is take advantage of their promotional bets, right? So this is number two, and this is number three. We're doing deposit bonuses and promotional bets. I kind of want to scrunch them together because this is how we're going to quickly get to $1,000. You can get to $1,000 literally just by depositing $500 and getting the free extra 500. So now we have that $1,000 to play with. What do we do? So these sites, they'll offer promotional bets, right? And what's a promotional bet? Oftentimes, let's say that LeBron James is playing that night and they want to, create, these sites want to create a stir on social media or maybe bring some more players into the platform. They may offer a bet where it's like LeBron James over half a point. And, of course, he's almost guaranteed to hit the over. They know that, but they're just throwing this promotional bet as kind of like throwing a bone. It's advertising, right? This is all advertising. So the initial part of this journey from 0 to 100,000, it really hinges on the advertising of these sports books. It's going to be the deposit bonuses. It's going to be the promotional offers. But so now you have your 1,000, your 500 plus the 500 deposit bonuses. How do you find these promotional offers? There's plenty of accounts on Twitter. Go on Twitter. There's plenty of accounts that will indicate when a new promotion has been offered. Sometimes they have promotions that are exclusive to them. This is kind of like a treasure hunt. So you're going to want to be on Twitter. You're going to want to be refreshing the sports books and get a good feeling for when promotions often come. Some are systematic. Prize Picks, as we know, has Taco Tuesday, Flex Friday, some other promos each week that I'm sure that a lot of sports books follow kind of a pattern that you can catch on to. So what you're looking for there is you're looking to figure out, where are the promotional bets that I can get. So now that you have your $1,000 and you're looking through promotional bets, which are basically bets that have a positive expected value, and they're giving them to you as kind of advertising, as promotion, as customer appreciation, whatever. It's really just to get you hooked, but we're just using them to make money, which is what they don't like, but fuck them, right? So now we have our 1,000, we're playing the promos. I think that now you can go from 1,000 to about 5,000 doing this. Playing the promos, going back and doing extra deposit bonuses, the ones that you have in your state. And if you're just doing promos and deposit bonuses, the ones that are available to you right now, then I think that you can quickly get up to about 5,000 from the 500 you put in, and then just stay in your state. And it depends what state. Some states are better than others, but that's why this next step at 5,000. This one's a little more difficult, but I think the people who do this have a lot of staying power in the industry because they have a lot of heart. They're grinders, right? So one thing that's interesting about promos and deposit bonuses in the United States is that they're different in each state. Like certain sports books will have new deposit bonuses if you're in Illinois, and then if you're in New York, and then if you're in Indiana or whatever it is, they'll have a certain book will have deposit bonuses per state, and then each state will also have different sports books that you might not have used yet. So when you get to 5,000, one thing you can do to quickly grow, to like boost your bankroll quickly without having to be like a really good sports bettor yet, and this is still in the advertising and marketing game, is do a road trip. Now, people have done these epic road trips where they go, state to state and get every single bonus possible. Again, that's very time consuming. What I would do is I would highlight a couple states that you can get to pretty quickly and just knock off some deposit bonuses. For example, I went to Colorado and it wasn't for betting, but when I went, I knew, okay, like there's some opportunity here. So I woke up early. I was doing some, social thing with friends, but I woke up early and I wanted to just like kind of calculate in my mind how much EV I could get in bonuses in the hours that I was up. Woke up, I think I did like 4,300 in expected value just on deposit bonuses and promotional bets in 2 hours. So The first couple hours in a new state are incredibly valuable if you have the money to take advantage of it. So once you get to that like $5,000 mark, you can, go to a new state and, safely take advantage of almost all their deposit bonuses. Then you go to another state, then you go to another state. A few states I'd recommend: Colorado, for sure, New Jersey, Illinois. Those are all ones that have a ton of books and are relatively easy to get to, like have big cities. So you can go to Chicago, you can go to, New York City and take the train across into Jersey, Colorado, go enjoy it and like spend a day sports betting, right? So that's a way that you can get from 5 to 10, 5 to 15, 5 to 20, and you're still not necessarily like having to be a winning sports bettor. All right? This is where it gets a little more difficult. So once you've kind of done a couple of your states and you've become a promo, deposit bonus, just crusher, right? Once you're just deep into that game, you've probably started to follow some people on Twitter. You hear about things like plus EV betting, steam chasing, arbitrage betting, all these things, right? Originating. But you're like, I don't know. Because I'm in my safe world of the casinos are just giving me money, just handing me free money, handing me free money. That's great. Now you've gotten up to the point where what you have is you have like a little war chest, and you can go out and you can figure out, okay, now that I've kind of got the easiest money in the industry, because you've gotten the easy money, which is good because you can use it to invest. You also have gotten a habit of thinking that you can win money from the casino, right? A lot of people don't believe that. And that's the case for a lot of people. But to be able to do this, commit to it, you do have to think that you're actually going to be able to win, right? And doing the deposit bonuses, doing the promos, it's good practice. It gets you in this winning mindset. It gets you thinking, okay, like I have an edge, right? It teaches you an edge, and it teaches you how to behave with an edge, right? So you've built your bankroll, you've built your war chest. Now what? All right. So now that you did your road trip and you have your 15 to 20,000, what you need to do now is you need to start working on your top down strategies. And now these strategies are going to be arbitrage betting or devigging strategies, and then steam chasing strategies, right? Now there's iterations of these, but essentially what these strategies do is they take information from the market and they apply it to other, market participants who are what we would call off market. For example, let's say that we got the Chiefs versus the Raiders. The Chiefs are -7 everywhere, and then you see, this is an extreme example, but you see them at like -3 somewhere else. Well, what you would do is essentially you would just bet the -3. Now, what you could also do in that situation, arbitrage betting, would be take -3 on the Chiefs, take +7 on the Raiders, and then you hope that the Chiefs win by like 5, right, or 4. But the gist of it is what you need to use these strategies are market information software, right? So this could be Spank Odds for the sportsbook heavy stuff, which would be like shows you all the offshores and the legals and the sharp, onshore books, and has a wide breadth of books, and I'll show you a screen of all the markets. You can see when the numbers are moving and where, they haven't moved yet. Arbitrage betting, you could do like a OddsJam Platinum, which it's gonna alert you with real-time market data where you can see when you could bet both sides of a bet and be profitable, right? And then for the daily fantasy apps, if you're in a state with just the daily fantasy apps, you can, you could do Pick'em Expert for the correlation building. You could do OddsJam for the screen and whatnot. So there's all this software that's going to aid you in top-down betting. Unabated is a really good option if you kind of just want like a one-stop shop and you want to be able to do everything. Unabated's a very solid option too. So what I would do is I would, try out a couple of free trials. I would watch some videos on arbitrage. The software companies themselves often put out tutorials on how to use them to make money, and those are very good because they're specific to the software. So this is where you're going to really transition from just the marketing to being an advantage bettor. And at this stage, this is where you just have to crank up the volume, right? So now you're here. Now you're able to, there's two things you do now to go from this like $15,000 range to 100,000. There's two things that you have to do. Crank the volume up on, get your software and crank up the volume, and then increase your bet size as your bankroll grows. The reason you increase your bet size as your bankroll grows is it allows you to compound your growth, right? So let's say that you're betting like $5 a bet when you have a $1,000 bankroll. Now let's say you have a $10,000 bankroll. If you're betting $5 a bet, you're not taking advantage of the extra cushion that you have, right? If you're keeping it a percentage wise, you would start betting $50 a bet, right? So when you're betting $50 a bet, you're going to be getting 10x the actual return on the same percent ROI. So when you are making that jump from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, you're going to be increasing your bet size just slightly as you go up, right? And this is all going to be part of the Kelly criterion, which is a common bet sizing formula. I'm not going to talk about it here, but you can go look it up. Pretty straightforward, and it's a good way to figure out how much you should be betting on any given bet. And there's a lot of good bet sizing content out there, right? We don't need to cover it now, but what you do need to know is that step from the getting out of just the promos to the 100,000, all that is getting your process down where you can get a lot of volume and increase your units while you're winning. That's it. Now that's obviously oversimplifying it, but that really is all. Those are the inputs right there, volume and bet size. So for example, let's say you wanted to make 100,000 in a year and you had a 5% ROI. How much would you have to bet to make 100,000? You'd have to bet 2 million a year, right? Okay. Now what's that on a daily basis? On a daily basis, that's like, I wrote it down somewhere. I think it's about 5,500 a day in betting, right? And that's if you bet every single day. So it's doable, but remember, like, you have to put up some significant volume to be able to, and 5% is probably too high of an ROI to be assuming, unless you're doing like the DFS parlays. But just know, like, the important point is, like, it takes a lot of volume, even at a good ROI, to make $100,000. So what you're going to be focusing on after that is, okay, when should I be betting? What's the best time to sit down, look at the screen, find bets? Because you want to be time efficient. You want to know when you can get your most bets in, your most volume. And then it's like, okay, what am I comfortable with, like, raising my units? When I make $5,000, do I raise it? Is it when I make 10,000? Do something that, feels comfortable for you. You don't want to force yourself to be too far outside of your comfort zone, because that might actually dissuade you from betting. But definitely, if you can, try and raise those units, because it's really going to shortcut the process. And that's it. I mean, it really isn't rocket science. There's a lot of people I know who've gone from 0 to 100,000. Certainly, now's the time to do it in the US, especially. There's so much in terms of promo opportunities to get that first jump, which is the hardest normally. Right now, I would say it's the easiest it's been about. So getting from 0 to 10, 0 to 20, right now, you can do that without really being a good bettor. And then once you have that war chest, that's when you can start to take it to the next level. And I think that's very important. Build that winning muscle, build some reserves to be able to invest in your education, go to that next level. So I hope that was helpful. Hope everyone has a good Christmas. Thanks again for everybody who has cared what I've had to say over the last couple months. It really means a lot to me. And let's make some more money in 2024.